Assalamu alaikum. Yesterday there was something very interesting that happened while I was watching this video, The Life and Journey of the Souls. It was in the evening, I think around 8 p.m. at night, and I got to exactly, I think it was 39 minutes and 15 seconds when my video paused and said there was no connection. And in order for this to happen, the internet has to go out, like the modem gets disconnected, but it has to, it takes 3, maybe 4 minutes before the internet is cut on the iPad. I don't know if your iPad automatically downloads a little bit of the video and it continues to play until it fetches more and then it's no more internet. So this can't happen just by me unplugging the modem at an exact moment. And the reason why I find this so interesting is if you watch the video, look what is being said, and it's like, bam, right when there's the narrator, the sheikh who's giving this speech, is saying something about a connection. So I'll play the video, and it'll be 39 minutes and 15 seconds. But it's interesting to see the context of what's being said, so please pay attention. Here we go.
Again gives this fragrance out. This is Allah showing us that the barzakh is a real world. And it's a world where you will remain. Though the body stays underneath there, the soul travels to a place called Illiyin, but there's a connection between the two. And what happens is in this fourth life, if you ask anyone, do you want to leave this world? The answer will be what, guys? The answer will be what, guys? No. Just as you did not want to leave Alamul Arwah, the first world, you did not want to leave the mother's womb, the second world, you did not want to leave the third world, the dunya, the same will happen. Nobody will want to leave Illiyin if they're in Illiyin. But if they're in Sijjin, they will want to leave, they will want to come probably because they want to stop the punishment, they want to just get on and move out. But there might be a time when Allah will stop the punishment in Sijjin. Allah only knows that. What happens after that? We come up on the Day of Judgment. What does Allah do? Allah then makes the angel blow the horn, and all the souls in Illiyin are killed off. All that, meaning that they cease to exist. This is not a real death. This is like another type of death. Yes, it's a type of death, but we only taste a real death where the angel of death comes and takes our soul out of our body. We only feel that once. So this is another time that everybody is now going to get switched off. So Allah switches off all the Illiyin people, all the Sijjin people. He kills and he makes the end of life for all the people on the earth, and they all come to an end, and the whole world comes to an end, and Allah breaks everything that He ever created. He then takes it together, reshapes it, makes it flat, and then He brings my body back wherever it was, underneath the surface, and your body underneath the surface. He then brings the soul of Illiyin from Sijjin or Illiyin. He brings it into the body, and then He tells the angel to blow again. It blows again, and then that's when we wake up. This is now another new world. This is going to be the fifth world. This is going to be the fifth world and a fourth transfer. We wake up just as you woke up. The day in your mother's womb, you were a fetus and you did not have any control over a body. Allah has now put you back again into a body, and I wake up and you wake up, and this time the only thing we do is we move, and our heads move the soil from above, and whatever it is, and we come out. We come out on the Day of Judgment. This is now every single human being, every jinn, every creation, every animal, every dinosaur, every single insect that Allah had created, all coming up on the Day of Judgment. Allah will make every living creature come on the Day of Judgment, and Allah will make all of them come together on one platform, one piece. Now this time there are things that are different. Why? Because when I'm walking on the Day of Judgment, first thing is, in the world I had full control over my limbs. I could do what I wanted. In this world I can't do that. I have limited control over my body. Allah somehow directs me. I can't just run away in the other direction. It's just the force that brings me together to a center place in the Day of Judgment. This is the day when if I was to see my mother, then my mother was not really, well, who is she? Who is my father? Who is my brother? Who is my sister? They're just souls that existed in Alam al-Arwah. that were put into different bodies, and the connection was made between me and her womb. That's the connection.
Now this is where the internet just went out randomly. That's the connection. And I want to prove that my modem went out, because then I was over there trying to figure out, okay, well, what's happening? Is there something wrong here? And it's blinking, blinking, blinking. Okay, so obviously it lost the internet, which is not uncommon, but the sign that I'm trying to convey is, look at where it was in the video. That's what I'm trying to convey. This isn't a miracle by any means. And then after that, I just have to go here. I emailed myself the pictures. So at 39:15 seconds, that's when you can see here that it's going like this, and then no connection. But that's the connection. Like, I thought, wow, what the heck is this about? Amazing, amazing. And then, where's my, here. So I just took a picture of that so we can get the time. And then when I came back to my iPad to see if the internet was working, now it wants to join my hotspot. So, like, seriously, the internet went out right when he's talking about that's connection. So let's finish watching the video for a few minutes just so we can finish the context.
And between me and that man who was my father. That's why the Quran says the family members what? يَوْمَئِذٍ, Allah says فَإِذَا نُفِخَ فِي الصُّورِ فَلَا أَنْسَابَ بَيْنَهُمْ. On the day when Allah will make the angel blow the horn, there will be no family ties on this day. A mom does not see her daughter as her daughter. A brother does not see his own brother as his brother. And a wife does not see her husband as a husband, and a husband doesn't see a wife as a wife. This is the day when Allah has created, where we're back again with thinking of us as souls. We have no connection with one another. That's why we don't help one another. We don't want to see one another. In fact, we'll run away from one another. The Quran says, يَوْمَ يَفِرُّ الْمَرْءُ مِنْ أَخِيهِ. The day when a man will run away from his own brother. Why? Because he's going to ask me for help. I don't want to be in a position where I have to turn him away and I have to embarrass him. That's the reason why. And then the only concern is me. I was the soul. What did I do when Allah trapped me in a body for only 40 years, for only 60 years, for only 50 years, which today looks nothing, because today's life is 50,000 years. And Alamul Arwah, the first life, was thousands and thousands and thousands of years. I lived, you lived. And the mother's womb was just 5 months, because 4 months it was a fetus without you inside. And 5 months till your birth is only the time you spent in your mother's womb. So it seems so quick. And the world is what? 60 years, 40 years, 50 years. What? For the sake of me. For the sake of me getting so accustomed to the world, today I've got so many answers. It's not, it will look crazy. That's why people will say, and the Quran says, compared to the real life of a whole thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years of the soul, compared to the day of judgment, 50,000 years I have to live in this world here, compared to the eternal Jannah or Jahannam, compared to that, they will refer to the life of the earth as what? They will say, Yawma, it was only one day. Some will say, Ashiyatan or Duhaha, it was only half a day. Either it looks like a morning or it looks like an evening. 60 years of life and they call it a morning. 60 years of life and they call it an evening. Subhanallah al-Azim. And then after that, when the hisab comes, this is now the new world. New world. Either you are under the arsh of Allah with the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam drinking Kawthar at his hands at a pool of Kawthar. both are a beautiful drink. Either you are with the Prophet ﷺ next to him and you're part of the Ummah, and Abu Bakr, Umar, and Uthman, Ali radiallahu anhum ajma'in, and Talha and Zubayr, and all the Ashara Mubashara and the Sahaba and the companions, they are your friends on that day. Either the Anbiya, Musa alayhi salam, Harun alayhi salam, Nuh alayhi salam, Dawood alayhi salam, Sulaiman alayhi salam, Yunus alayhi salam, Yusuf alayhi salam, Yaqub alayhi salam, Ibrahim alayhi salam, you have Yusha alayhi salam, you have Adam alayhi salam, you have Nuh alayhi salam, you have Salih alayhi salam, you have Hud alayhi salam. Either these are the people that you spend a whole banquet and a feast with, and you're in their company, and quickly forget 50,000 years for these people. For these people, it will be like 2 rakats of the Sunnah of Fajr prayer. That's how quick it will see. Either that life or the life on the Day of Judgment, under the sun, a life where it seems like 50,000 years, a life of desperateness, a life of wanting to get across from here. People will be so desperate, they will want Allah to just sentence them whichever way. Allahu Akbar. And then do the people want to move on from here? This time it's a yes. This time it's a yes. This is the only time people want to move from this world to another world. Why? Because they don't want to stay on the Day of Judgment. If they're in punishment, they don't want to stay in punishment. If they're having a good time, they want to have a better time to go to Jannah. And Allah will then enter people in the last life, the 6th life, for any man or woman, is either Jahannam or it's Jannah. It's either the fire or it's the garden. It's either going to be punishment or it's going to be delight. And what is that, my friends? We need to wake up and say to ourselves, we want to spend these 60 years here, these 50 years here, these 40 years here, these 20 years here, these 10 years here. I don't know how long you've got left. It might be 1 more year you've got left. It might be half a year, it might be a few months, or maybe a few weeks that you've got left. I don't know, you don't know. You want to spend the rest of the time for what? For a life on this earth, or for a life that I have, which is expanding from alamul arwah all the way to eternal Jannah. See, when we go to Jannah, subhanallah al-azim, I want you to hear these words. This is going to be a party that's going to be held in Jannah. You know, in this world, when sometimes we're together and we have a lovely time with one another, and we see each other, and sometimes you get together, you're on your sofas or your couches, and the food is being given to you, and the drinks are going around, and you're having a lovely sip and a lovely chat with your friends, and you say, you know, guys, do you remember that incident? Hey, do you remember, hey, you know, hey, to Khorsile, hey. Admit it, you did it. And he goes, hey, okay, I did it. So the laugh is on, the joke is on. All right, you did something in the past and you talk about it. And the good times, you get to talk to one another about the good times and the past times. Well, in Jannah, they're going to do the same thing. So I want you to listen to this. And I'm going to recite it to you. And I'm going to give you translation, and I want you to think about this party in Jannah, and they're going to refer to our world here. They're going to refer to doubts in this world about that world here. They're going to refer to what? They're going to refer to, if they hadn't changed their life here right now, they would have been completely gone in the next world to Jahannam. They will refer to what? They will say that they'll never die. They will refer to the fact that they will never see punishment ever. And Allah Azza wa Jal will give the biggest lesson at the end, and I want you to take this lesson with you. What did Allah Azza wa Jal say in the Quran about that? And if you look in the Quran, Surah number 37, ayah number 41, you will find this. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. أولئك لهم رزق معلوم فواكه وهم مكرمون. They, the people of Jannah, will be given provisions that they know of, which is fruits, where they are honored with those fruits. في جنات النعيم, in gardens of delight, many gardens of delight, where they can't see any days of worry. على سرر متقابلين, reclining, just like we recline in this world, reclining on couches facing one another. يطاف عليهم بكأس من معين. Around them, servants will be given drinks that will rotate around them. These are men and women in Jannah who made it in Jannah. And these drinks are from a fountain, and the fountain is of wine. بيضاء لذة للشاربين. White drink, beautiful and lovely for those who drink it. لا فيها غول ولا هم عنها ينزفون. Neither they will have a headache, nor will they get drunk from drinking this. So you can drink as much as you want. Much as you want. And after that, what will happen? Allah says, وَلَا هُمْ عَنْهَا يُنزِفُونَ وَعِنْدَهُمْ قَاصِرَاتُ الطَّرْفِ عِينٌ. Around them will be women who will have their eyes down. The eyes are only for their beloved. And Allah says about them, as if كَأَنَّهُنَّ بَيْضٌ مَكْنُونَ. Like an ostrich or a bird that has some eggs and saves and protects them from dirt and dust. These women in Jannah have got no dirt in their history whatsoever. Allah then says, فَأَقْبَلَ بَعْضُهُمْ عَلَى بَعْضٍ يَتَسَاءَلُونَ. One of them asks his friends in Jannah, he says, hey, as they're speaking and as they're talking, they're having fun, they're having laughter, they're asking questions about this world. He says, يقول أئنك لمن المصدقين فقال قائل منهم إني كان لي قرين. One of them will say, I used to have a friend in the world who used to visit me, and he used to say to me, يقول أئنك لمن المصدقين. Are you really serious when you tell me about the next world? Are you serious we're going to go to another world? أَإِذَا مِتْنَا وَكُنَّا تُرَابًا وَعِظَامًا أَإِنَّا لَمَدِينُونَ. Are you serious? This friend who doesn't believe in the next world, he says, you serious? We're dead, we're bones, we're dust, we're completely finished, and then we get up and then Allah judges us on the day of judgment. And then Allah says, Allah is the one who says this, هَلْ أَنْتُمْ مُطَّلِعُونَ. Oh, you people in Jannah, imagine we're in this party. Allah says, hey, you guys having the party down there. Do you want to see that friend of yours right now? And that friend will say, yes, oh Allah, I want to see him. فَاطَّلَعَ فَرَآهُ فِي سَوَاءِ الْجَحِيمِ. He will look down and Allah will make him see his friend where? In the depths of hellfire. In the depths of hellfire. قَالَ تَاللَّهِ إِن كِدتَّ لَتُرْدِينَ. By Allah, my friend in Jahannam, by Allah, you nearly destroyed me, you nearly ruined me. وَلَوْلَا نِعْمَةُ رَبِّي لَكُنْتُ مِنَ الْمُحْضَرِينَ. If it wasn't for the gift of my Lord, I would have been with you with the people of hellfire. And then the people of Jannah speak to one another. I've only got a few more verses, and listen to this part. Allah says, أَفَمَا نَحْنُ بِمَيِّتِينَ. The people of Jannah look at one another, they say, hey, guys, do you realize this? There's no more death. We'll never die again. إِلَّا مَوْتَتَنَا الْأُولَى وَمَا نَحْنُ بِمُعَذَّبِينَ. We only had one death, that's it. And we will never get punished again. The death of the world was the only death we ever had. There's no more punishment whatsoever after this. Now Allah speaks to us and He tells us, and I want you to take this lesson away from the 6 lives of man. I want you to take a lesson. What does Allah say? إِنَّ هَذَا لَهُوَ الْفَوْزُ الْعَظِيمُ. This surely is the greatest success anybody can ever have. Greater than you finishing your exam with 3 A's, A stars. Greater than you getting a master's degree with a first honors degree. Greater than you getting the most beautiful woman in the society to marry, or the most handsome looking guy to get married. The thing is greater than the success of getting married, of having beautiful children, of having a house, greater than the success of having a wonderful car, a wonderful place on this earth. Allah says the greatest success is to be in that position in Jannah with friends, talking about this and talking about the past, and you've got nothing to worry. Allah says, لِمِثْلِ هَذَا فَلْيَعْمَلِ الْعَامِلُونَ. Like this, all people who want to work and who want to compete, who want to get somewhere, you should try and get here, and this is the most triumphant place. My brothers, my sisters, I conclude my talk. What I say to you is, I hope after this talk you realize that where we are right now is nowhere compared to where we are going. Where we are right now is so small, so tiny, so insignificant. My brothers, my sisters, forget the people who are on your back and trying to mess your life up. Forget them, just do your amal, do your actions. Forget the workplace that puts stress on you. Just bear with it and do the best you can by pleasing Allah Azza wa Jal. Forget the few times you can get a quick money for a few pounds. Forget that, my friend. You want to make sure that every penny is spent in a halal way and earned in a halal way, so that we can have the rest of our lives, the life of barzakh in Illiyin, the life of the Day of Judgment with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the life of Jannah by seeing Allah Azza wa Jal, insha'Allah. Say insha'Allah. May Allah Azza wa Jal accept all and accept everyone who has come here today. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillah.